Welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys are doing well. We have a special stream that I'm really excited to be a part of, and hopefully you guys are going to enjoy this. I know you will. We're going to be talking horror, so it's always really cool. And this interview, I'm really excited because we're going to get hopefully some really interesting tidbits, not only about Terrifier, but also about Stream, which is going to be coming up soon. I've talked about this a few times, done a couple videos on it. I'm really excited about this film. Very cool concept. And who better to talk to than the actual director of the film? You guys, seriously, a blanket hello to everyone here. We see you guys in the chat. Gina, Paula, Val, thank you for being here. I appreciate that. Definitely to help out with moderating. You guys rock. Ben, Gene, what's what's going on? I love that emoji. Very cool. We got Muzaffar. Welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Melissa, what's going on? Good to see you. And thank you, Gene. I appreciate you. So we're gonna get this thing going, guys, because I know this man is very busy. He's a producer, he's a director, he's an actor, and upcoming the movie is called Stream with so many horror icons that it's absolutely crazy. The full trailer, I should say, recently just dropped. He was telling me about it. I checked out the trailer. I was like, holy crap. It was just so awesome. So let me bring him on. Here's Mr. Michael Leavy. Hey.
How are you? Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be on the show, and I'm glad to talk with you and your guests. And I'm happy that you dug the trailer. We're all working really hard, and I'm excited to be here. And I'm excited to talk about Stream and Terrifier and everything else we got going on.
Awesome. Well, let's just get right into this, man. Can you give the folks an idea of what Stream is and what they can expect from it as a horror film? I mean, I think a lot of people, there's been a lot of buzz in the community. A lot of YouTubers, even myself and some of my friends, actually, we've been talking about this thing. There's some buzz, but I know there's some people that are still wondering, okay, what's this about? So can you give them the download on what Stream is about?
For sure. So Stream is really, it's a modernized slasher.
Mhm.
And instead of having one serial killer, we have four serial killers that are competing in a game for most creative kills, for most kills, and it involves a hotel, so it's one singular location, which is something that I'm super excited about. And basically, the hotel is locked down, and these four killers are unleashed, and it's basically like, here we go. There really are no rules other than you got to make sure that you kill the patrons that are there. And it was a fun movie. It stars a lot of horror icons, as you mentioned. But that's not even the part that excites me the most. And believe me, that excites me a lot. Being a horror fan and growing up with some of these people, Jeffrey Combs, Danielle Harris, Tony Todd. I mean, the list is huge, and I feel bad if I leave someone off. Thank you. But that's not even the part that excites me most. What excites me most, obviously, is the story is really cool. And that was something before we went into it that I really wanted to focus on, because a lot of times there's these 80-minute slasher, 90-minute slashers, and it's just, kill and move on, which is great. I love that because that's the point of slashers, but I wanted to give it a little bit more. We wanted to give some depth to these characters. We wanted to give an interesting story. We wanted to really make the audience connect with this family that's there, our main family. And give them, a reason to root for them and to come along on this journey. So it's a longer film in that aspect because, it really gives a backstory. And then boom, once we hit the ground running, it moves like a roller coaster and it's fast. And that's something I'm really cool about. I'm excited to see how the audience and the fan base kind of connect and relate to that. We do deliver the goods. We got Damien Leone, the director of Terrifier, the master himself, him and Phil Falcon, all the practical effects on the original two Terrifiers. And they do all the practical effects on this one with Stream.
Wow. And just to park on that for a second, obviously with how Terrifier 2 especially just blew up, man. I mean, bro, when I went to the theater to see it, it was packed, and I don't live in a highly populated area. And of course, to get into some of the scenes, we had this one guy, he starts like coughing during a scene, and he's like gagging and this, and I'm like, oh man, this is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
but having them work on this film, I know this is probably a stupid question, but how did that feel? Did that kinda give you a certain amount of comfort that, "Hey, we know that our practical effects are gonna be absolutely amazing?"
No, it did. Believe it or not, this movie was written. And when I say written, I mean, there was a concept and, there was a first draft before I was involved, before Terrifier 1 was even shot.
Oh,
And
wow.
so, yeah, so I would played Will the Exterminator in the original Terrifier film. I get decapitated, and I
Yeah.
became really good friends with Damien, Phil, and was brought on board for the following two films as a producer, as an assistant director. So I was really there from the beginning of the franchise of seeing how they work, seeing the practical effects. And I wasn't a huge gore guy growing up, believe it or not.
Mm.
I was I was into like the Halloweens, things like that where it's more atmosphere and tone and the kills were quick and you kind of move forward. I didn't have an appreciation for gore until I met Damien and I realized it's a whole art form and you could do some really cool things. So the original script of Stream was very dialed down to what it ended up being. And yes,
Oh.
Damien gave me a lot of confidence to say, "Hey, I have this guy by my side and we're gonna put we're gonna put in the work." And as Damien says it, he goes, I got the bug, and I really did. And we started meeting up pre-production before, and then at some late nights we were like, "Hey, let's try to push this," and we would go back and forth, and he would whip stuff up out
Mm.
of nowhere. And and I was confident in that it was going to look awesome, even if it was something last minute that we decided to do. And there's a kill in there specifically that ended up being one of the coolest things in the movie, and it happened on the fly. And we can come back and talk about it when the film is out. But one of the actors was an older gentleman, and it was a very awkward position that he was in, and we really were putting him through the ringer. And Damien says, "Mike, I got a better idea. If you want to go with it, that we could really do something awesome. Give me 40 minutes." And he put this thing together in 40 minutes, and it wasn't supposed to be in the film, and now it's one of my favorite pieces of the movie. So yeah, having him
Wow.
also gave us the confidence to take those risks and to say, "Yeah, let's push it, let's push it, let's push it." And Damien, believe it or not, one of my favorite things that he had said to me when the whole thing was said and done was, he's like, "I'm excited for this movie to come out because these are some of the most creative kills that I've ever been a part of doing." And that's pretty awesome to hear from the guy who did the hacksaw scene,
Yeah.
did the bedroom scene for Terrifier. There's like a bunch of other scenes in Terrifier 3 that we really pushed the boundaries with. So that was a nice stamp of approval to get from the man himself.
Oh my god, that is so awesome, man. I mean, definitely the idea that he's like a gore master is putting it lightly, and for him to say that about Stream, that really pumps me up, man. Because like you said, in Terrifier, these films, you can literally say a location, and people know
Yeah.
exactly what kill you're talking about because it's that legendary at this point. So that's really cool that he's like that. Let me also say, we got a couple other people jump in. Death Central saying slashers competing to make the better, most brutal kill. Goddamn, I'm in. Yeah, I know you're gonna enjoy this one, man. Seriously. I mean, it's awesome. If you guys haven't checked out the trailer for Stream, check it out. It is really, really cool. Michael, I've got a couple pictures too. I'm gonna put up on the screen with us. We're gonna be on the side, but let's also talk about this. Now, when you're going through the filmmaking process, were there any moments that were either kind of fun or crazy or anything like that that you could share with us? Because I think for a lot of fans, myself included, seeing the behind the scenes and getting a chance to talk to, directors such as yourself, it's almost as much fun as watching the damn movie, because to hear the ups and downs, the struggles, the fun moments, the bloopers, all that type of stuff, it is so fascinating. But are there any moments that come to your mind? I know we don't want to give away anything of the film, but any moments that come to your mind where you're just like, wow, that was crazy, or wow, I can't believe that happened.
I'll tell you what was crazy about it is we shot this film in the height of COVID. And that's how long the process has taken to get to here. We were
Wow.
the first film to go into production in the height of the pandemic. Everything was still shut down. There was no vaccinations. There was no anything. It was wearing the mask, the PPE. SAG, which is the Screen Actors Guild, still didn't really know how to navigate it. We had to get HEPA filters. We had to have zones. It was insane the process that we had to go through. What was fun about it in a way, though, was that all of us literally were living in that hotel that you just showed 2 shots ago.
Hmm.
And it was our own. There was no other people there, right there. There was nobody else. It was just us and the cast. You'd wake up in the morning, you'd shoot the movie, and then you'd leave everything out in the hallway. You'd go to bed. So it was like summer camp filming this movie. And we felt safe and nobody got sick, thank goodness, because we had a good plan in place and there was nobody else outside of our production.
Hmm.
Um, but we had some great times. Believe it or not, I see you got a Tampa Bay hat on there. The Tampa Bay Bucks won the Super Bowl during this production, and I was supposed to fly out to the game to go see it. And we got snowed in. We were shooting in Gettysburg, so no one could leave the property. And the crew and the cast felt so bad because my brother and myself are huge Buck fans that they threw this big Super Bowl party with everybody there in the lobby, big screen TV. We had food catered, the whole thing. And again, this is in the middle of COVID where we all were together now for weeks at this time. So everybody we knew were safe. We were tested. We were doing the swabs and everything. So we knew
Hmm.
we could just kind of let loose, have a good time. We were in our own little isolated bubble. And then, we had the day off the next day, and then we were going to go back into production shortly thereafter because I was going to give myself a little bit of quarantine time after actually attending the Super Bowl I thought I was going to, which I did not. Uh, but yeah, there's a couple of behind the scenes things that are out there. We had to run an Indiegogo campaign for finishing funds
Hmm.
because what happened was we didn't expect when we raised the budget for this to have COVID come into play, and it raised
Hmm.
it exponentially. So we really needed the money for post production, which is also why it took a little longer. Other than it was calculated this way because Terrifier 2 we wanted to come out beforehand. We had shot that before. That was getting delayed a little bit because of COVID. So it kind of was a snowball effect with everything that we were a part of.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, so they're out. There's some behind the scenes out there as well that people can check. But eventually, hopefully, there'll definitely be a full either documentary or making of thing that we're going to put out because there's some awesome things that are very spoilery that I can't talk about. But
Absolutely, man. That is awesome stuff. And real quick too, in the chat, we've got a couple of our folks here. We got Val saying the Terrifier franchise has some of the most brutal kills I've seen on the screen. I absolutely agree. And she's saying thank you for joining us tonight, Michael. Very cool, Val. Thank you so much. You're awesome. Um, Dawson celebrating 4 months as a channel member. Thank you so much. We appreciate the support. You rock. Thank you so much for being here tonight as well. Definitely very cool. Yeah, now, when we talk about the concept of the killers, these players, there's four of them. What? How did you guys park on four? Obviously, a lot of films will have one, and maybe two. But how did you guys come up on? Well, let's have four killers
it
in
was
this
it
movie.
was very calculated because this is a game central film. And we kind of leaned into that original multiplayer back with the PlayStation, the Xbox. You would have multiplayer that wasn't on before the online gaming stuff. You would have 4 screens for 4 players, and you could hook up 4 players. You could be player 1, 2, 3, 4, and the colors are also calculated. Whereas player 1 was blue, player 2 was green, player 3 was yellow, player 4 was red. So we
Hmm.
followed that formula to make it very accurate, very modern, very game centric. Just little things that the gaming community would appreciate that maybe you'd pick up on, maybe you wouldn't, but it kind of just added that own little signature style to it. And I'm
Hmm.
excited to see what everybody thinks about it. It's coming out in theaters August 21st on the big screen. And go figure, a movie called Stream is coming out in theaters. We never expected that at all. So I'm super stoked about it, and hopefully the fan base shows up like they did with Terrifier 2,
Hmm.
and that'll help us get extended because right now it's limited, and that really there's no marketing budget behind this in the sense of like having a big studio. It really is grassroots. It really is the fans and us. Driving this and that's the best way is doing things like this, talking with you, word of mouth, and hopefully more people learn about it and show up and get entertained.
Absolutely. Well, and I also want to mention that being said, obviously tonight, we're trying to put a spotlight on it and get the word out there. And this community is always awesome as far as going on social media and talking with each other and friends and groups and so forth. But Gene brought up a good question right here, saying, "Where do I see the trailer for Stream?" You can see it on YouTube,
Yes, if you
and
yes, if you search YouTube, if you go on YouTube and you search stream trailer, stream franchise trailer, Fuzz on the Lens is my production company. It's the same company that does the Terrifier films. That's how you'll be able to find it. We have a teaser trailer that we did a few months ago that was released last October, and then the theatrical trailer was released last week. And yeah, that's actually a Weekend at Bernie's right there. That's Terrifier,
Yeah.
Friday the 13th as well. We just announced Bill Moseley's in the film. And
Ooh.
I don't know if you saw that. We dropped that 3 days ago. There's a shot of him in the trailer, and a couple of fans were questioning online if it was Bill Moseley or not, based on, I guess, I'm shocked they even noticed. It was like a split second. And, it froze frame, it froze it, and like went through ... And then Variety reached out for a confirmation, and I says, yeah, I confirmed it. So Bill Moseley is also in the film. We've been holding
Wow.
that for a long time.
Yeah, he's awesome, man. I got the chance to meet him a couple times at conventions, and what I mean, especially when you think about some of the roles that he's had in his career, most notably like Devil's Rejects and so forth as Otis, and he is such a nice guy. He is so like laid back and humble, and kind of like, hey, I'm just a regular dude, and I love Bill Moseley. Such a really cool character. He's
He's
awesome.
Yeah, he's the best, and we're so happy to get him a part of this. And we have some ideas to build it as a franchise, and
Hmm.
hopefully we get the chance to do that. But again, it's not up to us. It's up to
Right.
you guys. It's up to the fans. If you guys dig it and you guys enjoy it, then that'll be able to push it over the top to get that franchise out of it. I just know that we poured our heart and soul into it. I'm very proud of it. As a horror fan, it's something I would have liked, I would like to see. And I think
Hmm.
that's important to be true to yourself and to just, it's a fun ride. It really is a fun ride, and I'm excited to see what everybody thinks of it. Everybody works super hard on it, and I think we got a cool concept, and we have a very big picture of where we want this thing to go. So I
Mm,
hope that it's able to be realized. It wasn't just thought of. Some movies are just, you think of it as a singular film, and then you get lucky and it pops, and it's like, oh, now we got to figure out how to turn it into a franchise because it's a big money grab. With
right.
this, we kind of had an arch of like, we could really build something new and something fresh here. Because the studios aren't really giving it to us. Even though I'll be the first to admit, I will go see Halloween '72 when it comes out, or Nightmare on Street 34, or another Friday. Listen, I'm a horror fan. I love them all,
That's
uh,
right.
but we do crave new things, like Terrifier.
Hmm.
And,
Hmm.
this is something I'm excited to bring to the forefront. And I just hope people get behind it because I think we got a cool one here.
I think so too, man. The concept itself, it really, even when I first saw the teaser, I was like, wow, this is kind of cool. I'm a huge just movie fan, and there was this moment that I was like, man, this is like a horror version of like The Running Man a little bit or something like that. And seeing Jeffrey, who by the way I absolutely love. I think he's had such an underappreciated career, and just hearing him in this full trailer, and just it sounds like he's having a blast,
He
man. It
is.
sounds like
He is. I'll tell you, I'll go on record saying this. I think it's one of the top three Jeffrey Combs performances I've ever seen. And I was so honored to be there and witness it firsthand. And there's
mm,
a buddy of mine who's a producer on the film, and he's a huge horror fan. Huge. His name is Marcus Slabine. And him watching this, he kept tugging on me, saying, "Oh my God, Jeffrey's like bringing it. Jeffrey's in his element." And he really was. He gave 110%, and it's a fun character, and he nailed it, and it was exciting to see come to life. It really was. So, like I said, I can only just say it's a fun ride, and I'm really excited for the fan base to see this film because it's a doozy.
yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, and let me ask this too. And again, I know we don't want to give away anything. By the way, and I know because I've heard you speak about that you hate spoilers.
I do.
You hate it when trailers give spoilers away, and we've talked about that here so often that's one of, for me anyways, and for a lot of people, it's one of the most disappointing things is when a trailer gives away something that is so important, or something that could be such a fun surprise that you could see for the first time in the theater. That being said, it feels like, this movie is having a lot of fun. We talked about Jeffrey. Is there that sense of like, not campiness, but as far as having some comedic tones in it?
Yeah, yeah, for sure
Okay.
there is. For sure there is. And it's You need that in I think a horror film to break that tension because everything just can't be so high and so tense all the time. You need that kind of roller coaster of emotions. It's a very serious topic, and obviously
Mhm.
brutal murders and things like that. But there is some comedicness to it. Anything that I'm involved in usually has a little bit of comedy to it. Not too much, but it's definitely there. And it's I'm trying to kind of not give too much away, but with the
Yeah.
as regards to the spoilers of what you're saying, it was really hard to come up with the trailers to do this. You would think it's straightforward, obviously, but I do. I hate when they give too much away. I hate when they spoil stuff. You do want
Mhm.
to show great things to get people excited about it to come see the movie and to be like, hey, this looks cool. I remember seeing another interview. Somebody did like a trailer reaction, and they were like, yeah, it looks cool. They got some names and stuff, but I want to see more. What's it about? He's like, I feel like they're not giving anything away.
Mm.
And I'm like, yeah, that's the point. And
Right.
so I made sure in the theatrical we gave a little bit more to show. They're like, is it going to be brutal kills? Is it not? And then I'm like, well, it says from the producers of Terrifier, it says Damien Leone does the effects. I think you could put it together that the kills are going to be brutal without me showing you the kills, you
Right.
know? So I found that funny. And then they were like, yeah, we hope there's like sex. It looks like they're promoting sex and gore, and that's horror. And I hope if this movie doesn't have that, I'm going to be disappointed. So I'm pretty happy. I think that guy's going to give us a stamp of approval.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I just hate I hate the spoilers because then like you get to the theater and you know what's coming,
Right.
or it happens and then maybe you've seen it in the trailer and you say to yourself, oh, it's not as cool maybe as I thought it was, or I thought it was going to be something a little different. So I tried very hard to stay away, and I'm proud of the trailers that we put out there because I think it wets the palate just enough to say this looks fun, this looks
Mhm.
cool, I want to see what it's about. And then yeah, I don't think we gave away really one kill, which is pretty cool, maybe one, and so
Mm.
that I'm most proud of.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I agree. I think the trailer did a great job of giving you a little bit more of a sense of what this is kind of about without telling us what it's about, if that makes any sense whatsoever. And I think you guys killed it with the trailer. Like I said, when I saw it and I was saying to one of my friends, it's like, man, I'm gonna no, I won't tell Michael yet. I'm gonna save this for when we talk in the interview. But I was just like, wow, I was just so impressed with it. It looks so good. There's some great shots as far as the camera work. It just looks really good. Some of the scenes where you have the characters moving around, it looks good, man. And like being a huge fan since I was a kid back in the mid 80s watching horror, I'm like, this could be cool. And 'cause like you said, we need new life in the genre. We need new icons, we need new franchises, we need new voices, we need more filmmakers and so forth. And I'm so happy that you guys take it so seriously because that's important. Number one, I mean, you guys are definitely working for us fans, and that's awesome.
You guys
Because
drive
we,
us, you motivate us because look,
yeah,
without our fan base, there's no one to make these films. I mean, yeah, we can make it for ourselves, but where how far can you go from that, even as a creator, to grow and to adapt?
hmm,
But also you guys help us raise the bar. We talked about this. I remember with Terrifier 2, was we don't want to let our fans down because
mm,
there's a level of expectation that you're going to go see a film that we're a part of that it's going to be at this level, you know what I mean, and nothing lower than that. So we want to make sure that we at least deliver that and then go above and beyond because we don't want them, any of you guys to be let down, you know what I mean?
right.
Because you guys keep coming out for us, we're going to keep delivering for you.
Nice, man. That is really cool, man. Like I said, it's so refreshing to hear that, and it really gives, at least for me as a horror fan, so much confidence about the possibilities for the future. These guys in the chat, they're having some fun. Paula was asking, and I'm sure this might be a tricky question, but was there a hard scene that you had to direct in this film, or that you would consider the hardest scene?
The heart. So I'm in a little bit of the movie, and those were hard to direct because you're in the movie, and then you got to kind of come out of it, and
Mm,
that's why I never put myself in big roles because I would go crazy. I mean, I like to have a little small part in and out, just because I love to act. And I like to get in there with my actors. But luckily, I have my brother by my side, and he was there to help me. And I have my buddy Marcus, who I care about and really appreciate his opinion. And also Damien's there.
hmm.
So, and Phil Falcone. I got a good group of people to help me navigate through a lot of this, the genre, this industry. And there are people that I fully trust. My business partner, Steve Delasala, the DP, Jamie Root, our AD. And these people we work with on, like, it's not just, it was just this project. I mean, we've worked with them from Terrifier to Terrifier 2, Terrifier 3, Stream,
Hmm.
another film I did, Abnormal Attraction, another film Marcus has done. So we all work together on each other's projects. We really are a unit and a family and a group that just continues to grow together. And it's like shorthand whenever we work. And you can trust, you can kind of be vulnerable, and you can take risks and not
Hmm.
feel silly, maybe trying something out, because you know that you got people around you that will support you no matter what. I remember there was one day that it was late. It was like an 18-hour day. We're like half falling asleep, and it's getting tough, and the sun's coming up, and it was a big scene. And one of the people I'm working with leans over and goes, "Wow, this is awesome." And that just was like, it wakes you right up, because like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, these guys got my back, they're enjoying it, and it puts it into perspective. And I was that way for Damien too with Terrifier. Like, I remember there was
Mm.
a scene we're shooting the club stuff, and I went up to him, and it's tired. Everybody wants to go home. It's getting really late. And I just said, "Hey, this is great. Just let's get it right. You know what I mean? Let's just keep
Right.
going." And it just rejuvenates you as a director to have people around you who care.
Nice. That is awesome stuff, man. Seriously. I the more you talk about it, the more I'm like, man, I want to see this now. It's like August is too far away. Real quick too in the chat, just to say hi. Some other people have been jumping in. Our good friend DeRay from Rainbow Freight, another great YouTube channel, an awesome content creator, saying hell yeah to having Jeffrey Combs in this. The trailer looks awesome. Saying there's a lot of cool names actually. And I totally agree. No doubt at all. Thanks for being here, DeRay. And we've got Gina with a channel member anniversary, 14 months. Gina, you rock. You know that. Saying thank you so much for doing this interview. Absolutely. And I'm glad that you could be here, Gina, from across the pond. I mean, we got people in this community from all over the world. It's so cool. Val saying just went and watched the trailer for Stream. Oh damn, star-studded cast, looks brutal. I can't wait to see this.
Oh,
Awesome.
wow. Thanks, guys, for checking it out live. That's so cool. I'm hoping
Yes.
more people do, like you did a trailer reaction, right? Or when you did the first one.
Yep.
Love, and I don't know if you saw, we put you in a
Compilation.
compilation of some, yeah.
Yes.
And it was an honor to have you do that. And I'm so excited. So I want to see more of those too, if anybody is out there listening, because that helps us promote it too. And that helps people. It's so exciting just to see, you know, what people are thinking about the movie. And, that's kind of like that instant gratification a little bit, because we do have some time for the film to come out. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
just like you can't wait, we can't wait as well. Like, we've been living with this for so long. And
Right.
like, even today, to help raise awareness, we just launched, I don't know if you saw, we launched a giveaway, to where if you
Yes.
buy your pre-sale tickets ahead of time, which again, nobody really buys pre-sale tickets nowadays. You never know where your schedule is, but if they
Hmm.
do, because it'll help us get expanded and extended into theaters, hopefully, because it is a small run. It's only about a week. Then, if they buy them early, the theaters will say, "Hey, there's some interest here. We'll expand it." It doesn't happen for indie films. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
the fact that we're at this point is so huge, and it's because of our fan base. But anyway, we're doing a giveaway of, if you get pre-sale tickets and you show us and you tag at Stream Franchise, the receipt or whatever, a screen used gory prop from Damien Leone, a mask, a screen replica mask of the killers, and then also some signed posters and things. So we're trying to also give back for
Yeah.
you guys supporting us. We're not just asking like, "Hey, go get your tickets," and that's that. We really, really love our fan base, and I think you've seen through Terrifier and through some of the stuff that we've been doing. You guys are along the journey with us, and we'd love to just keep adding. And we're very accessible, as you can see. It's
Hmm.
very, very grassroots.
Yeah, man. I mean, you guys, seriously, it really feels like you guys are right down on the level with all of us fans. And I think that's also
Fans
a
too.
really cool thing.
We're fans too. I mean, like, I'm
Right.
so honored and to be doing this. Like, it's crazy. I'm just a horror fan, a movie fan, a comedy fan, whatever, that just loved watching films. I still do. And
Hmm.
obviously, and was so excited about it. Says, I want to do this. That's the only difference between the fans and us, is we just said we want to do this, and took a crazy whack at it. And it's just thankfully some people enjoy and want to see what we have to offer. So I'm just blessed.
Yeah, absolutely, man. No doubt. Our good friend Death Central saying, I'll get behind anything you guys do. Finally, some badass horror movies. Terrifier saved horror for me. That's what I'm talking about, man. And, for some of you guys here, and we've got a couple of content creators here, definitely feel free to do some reactions and so forth to get the word out in all of our connected communities, because I think that's going to help as well.
Oh yeah,
Um,
and we'll share it. As you've seen, we put you in that compilation video, and we like to showcase. If you look at our pages, we really do. We showcase our fan base, and we bring attention to them just as much as you guys bring attention to us. I mean, we're really in this together. I really can't stress it enough. Like it's just so. I love talking with you guys. I'm on social media all the time, just trying to
yes.
be in touch. And yeah, so it's just we're just honored and humbled.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, guys, and we'll have the link in the description of this interview, but make sure you guys follow Michael on Instagram too, man, because that way you definitely get a front row seat to everything that's going on as well. My good friend Steven's in the house from Craven Something Scary, also another fantastic YouTube channel and content creator and brother. Again, a lot of us definitely going to try to get the word out and try to bring some light on this, because we want this in horror. We want new things to talk about. So many people in our audiences at times will say, yeah, I want to see something new. I want something to really surprise me. We want new franchises. And I think the fact that you guys are, a big part of this, I think is really cool. And to get a chance to get that bird's eye view, and you guys are so accessible, like you said. Strange Monkey saying, I'm excited for both films. Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. No doubt. Steven saying, enjoying this discussion night. Welcome to our community, Michael. I'll be glad to do my part in promoting stream as well. Let's go. There we go. Awesome stuff, man. Val's got the link for Michael's Instagram. Thank you so much. Very cool. Now, one thing I want to do as we start to wind down a little bit here, Michael, let's talk about the killers a little bit more. Obviously, we're staying away from spoilers, but we've got four of them. Now, is there, I mean, and I'm assuming, and if you can't answer, that's absolutely fine. But I'm assuming each one of them, and one of them being David Howard Thornton, by the way, I'm assuming they each have, as Liam Neeson said in the Taken films, their own set of unique skills or whatever.
Yes, yes, they do, and they're all very different. The only thing that's I guess similar with them all is it's the same mask,
Hmm.
and they all have this same base mask to give that kind of, I don't want to use the word iconic because we're nowhere even near that level of anything, but that signature look of,
Hmm.
okay, you can recognize, you see that mask, that mask is from Stream. You see the Halloween mask, Michael Myers, you see with Freddy, that. So we have that one mask that you can associate it with Stream. But then what's cool is they're customizing their mask, their wardrobe to their personality, to their character. And what
Hmm.
we really did, without giving any spoilers away, is we paid a lot of homage to other horror films, characters within each and every one of them, so to speak.
Nice.
And I think you'll be able to see, we lend a little from this one, a little from that one, to kind of create a new character for each of them. And that's just
Mm.
the horror fan in me. You know what I mean? That's just like, I just love these characters. I love these films. And I said, if I'm doing a character of my own, I want to kind of take a little bit of each of them and kind of birth a new one, so to speak. There's
Mm.
David. And
Yeah.
it's the same thing that Damien kind of did with Art the Clown. He kind of took a little bit of this one, a little bit of that one, because we are fans, and this is what we love, and this is what we know. And what's cool is there was so much more from other characters that I really wanted to put into them. I said, just slow down. Uh, let's get this one out there. Let's see where it goes. But already my mind, is just chomping at the bit and really
Hmm.
hoping we get that franchise or that sequel
Mm.
to do some stuff. Because let me tell you, we've been working on some scripts and some ideas. We have treatments for the whole thing. Um, yeah, it's going to be something brutal and amazing as we go forward. You know what I mean? Because also,
Wow.
it's we started with this, and we want to kind of lay down the groundwork with it. And then again, like Terrifier, and then look from Terrifier 1 to Terrifier 2. And
Hmm.
then Terrifier 2, wait till you guys see Terrifier 3. I mean, I was like pinching myself every day on set saying, how do I have a front row seat to this? I, I mean? And how am I a part of this and can influence this? And Damien, try this, or Mike, what do you think of that? Or, he's very inclusive, like I am, with our
Mhm.
crew and our cast of talking together, and he's very open to the ideas. And it's just great. It's just really an awesome family of hardworking people. And yeah, so hopefully we'll get that chance. I keep saying that because you never know, but
Right.
with the help of everyone here and everyone around the world, and we'll see.
Yeah, man. I'm hoping, man. I'm really hoping because this is just so exciting. Also, for us to be a part of the process too in a small way. Mayanne says, I need a shout out. I'm doing a trailer reaction. There you go. That's what I'm
Hey,
talking
yeah,
about.
get it out there and share it. I would love to see it. I'm telling you, I watch them straight through, like, and I a bunch of times, and I get really excited. Like seeing you guys react to it, just gets me as excited as hopefully you guys are watching it. So
Right. Absolutely, man. No doubt at all. You guys, I mean, seriously, you guys are awesome. I already knew that. Um, Val saying the masks are so creepy. I agree. First time I saw that, I was like, oh, I like that. I like that design. Uh Dead Central saying art is definitely becoming a new horror icon. No doubt about that, man. And again, we need them. We really do. I mean, you guys know on this channel, huge fan of the OG franchises, Halloween, Friday 13th, Scream, Nightmare, all that stuff. But we need new stuff. We really do. We need to keep moving forward. We need to push the envelope. And this is the way that it can happen, guys. Like these movies have to be supported one way or the other. If you can't go out and see them, pass it along to your circle of friends. Like this is how it happens. And for all of us, myself included, when we complain that we need new shit, this is our opportunity to get it right here.
look at that movie in a violent nature, and what happened with
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean? And that,
Hmm.
I thought it was great concept. And that thing just popped. No one expected it. No one. It came out of nowhere.
Right.
And now you have something that's pretty cool. Whether you enjoyed the film or not, whatever. There is something valuable there. There's something cool there, and I'm sure they're
Hmm.
going to do another one. And again, that one kill. I don't know if anybody saw
Oh,
that. Give any away. There was one kill in there that was just brutally awesome. Like it really was. And it was creative. And these are things that like we would not have seen had it not been for us, the fans, showing up and getting out there. And it's just more of that stuff. Another film that I don't think gets enough attention is this movie called Haunt. I don't know if anybody.
yes.
I love that film. It stars a buddy of mine, Damien Maffei, who's actually in stream as well.
Hmm.
Um, he's a great actor, a great man, a great dude, and that's a really good film. You know what I mean? And that's a little indie thing that like I think there's a franchise in that, and I'd love to see another one there. So it's
Hmm.
it's just a matter of there's good filmmaking out there. There's really cool films, and it's again if we show up and you share it and you talk about it, that's is what gets the word of mouth going. We're strength in numbers for sure.
That's right. No doubt. It's definitely like an army. We got Isaac here too. Welcome to the chat saying, is Terrifier 3 the scariest out of the trilogy? Ooh, that's actually a pretty good question. I like
It,
that.
it is. It is actually the tone is much different. Terrifier 3 from what we had done with at least the second one. The first one was
Hmm.
grungy and was very dark, um, but the second one on purpose we kind of wanted to make it very bright, where you see everything. Art's
Yes.
not in the shadows, really highlighting the lore of Sienna. This one kind of goes back to its roots, and I mean even more so than its roots of Terrifier. It goes back to its
Mm.
roots of All Hallows Eve and just how it's
Ooh.
approached. Um, and just to kind of give an example, Terrifier 2 was shot very bright, very, light everywhere, colorful, whereas Terrifier 3 is very 1970s John Carpenter, Black Christmas, pockets of lights. Art is in the shadows, art is out of the shadows, art is lurking in the back, things like that, that really gets it to being scary again. And it's funny because it's like, it's a Christmas movie,
Hmm.
so it's like you would expect that to be the bright one. So that
Right.
contrast, what Damien and George Stuber, our cinematographer, had put together is something really special and really cool. And we shot them on the old school Panavision lenses with the old school
Yes.
cameras. Yeah. Scope, you know what I mean? Like, so it
Yes.
have a completely different look and feel from part two. It's going to feel more like film. It's going to feel more that grungy grindhouse. It's cool. It's definitely old school lighting, none of those
Mm,
LED stuff, you know. So we really went back to the roots of it, and Damien made a conscious effort to make art scary again. You know what I mean? Like
nice.
you still have that playfulness, but this was something that he really wanted to do, and I think we succeeded in it. And tomorrow we're dropping a teaser trailer that you'll get to see.
Yes, hell yeah, man. Now let me just say something. And Isaac, thank you so much for that question because it really segued into one thing that I was going to ask, which was, is there anything that you could give us as far as a sense of Terrifier 3? And let me just say, man, when you just called out Halloween, Black Christmas. I know even right now live, there's a bunch of these guys in the chat. They're like, hell yes. Like, I mean, just as far as that vibe, that ambiance, kind of
Yeah,
like taking it back. That is so cool, man. And I'm so excited.
it's funny if you look at like I consider Terrifier 2 kind of like the Dream Warriors in the Nightmare on Elm Street. The way it looked, it was, you know, brighter, and, you know, Terrifier 3 is more like the, if you want to keep it in that franchise, is more like the original Nightmare.
Mm.
You know,
Mm-hmm,
where it, again,
mm-hmm,
it's those pockets of lights. It's like Halloween 78, Black Christmas, things like that. It's that gritty,
mm,
that shadowy. So yeah, so it's a completely different look and feel from the other two films. And I think that's also what's great about what Damien does, is that with each film, he keeps it fresh, he keeps it different.
mm-hmm,
He delivers something more. There's more to the story that comes out, but I'm proud to say he still keeps the lore, you know, because obviously he's building something here, and we don't like where you just vomit everything out, because that kind of takes the mystique and the scare away as well. But
mm-hmm.
you learn more about the Shaw family, you know, more about Art the Clown, and maybe his motives a little bit, but nothing to where it's going to ruin or expose this to where it's just like, oh, there's everything there. I don't need to see, you know, there's no,
Right.
he's not scary anymore.
Right, right. Man, you're preaching because like we talk about that all the time, and you've seen it in so many franchises where they get to the point where they're probably maybe running out of steam or ideas, and all of a sudden they're explaining the mythology, and then they're doing things that don't make any sense, you know, because like when you're trying to over explain stuff on these characters, you usually run into a lot of potholes. And it's so awesome to hear that you got, in other words, you guys are talking like we talk. You guys are already saying, hey, we want to keep the mystique, just like with someone like Michael Myers. I don't want to know all of the reason why he's doing what he does.
Yep.
He's scarier when I don't know.
Yeah, he's just the shape, and then your mind can fill in what you think.
Right.
And you know, and that comes from, again, a part of it comes from, I think, well, two parts of this is, you're saying we're talking like you guys because we are you guys, we are fans, you know what I mean? Like, we're
Hmm.
not the studio. But it's also because maybe when Halloween first came out, like we said before, they didn't expect sequels. It wasn't even a thing. And then now it's like
Hmm.
they're chasing their tails a little bit. And that's what I'm proud of with both Terrifier and Stream, is both of them have a clear cut plan of what we've always wanted to do. And that's
Hmm.
why we're kind of able to, you know, space it out and how we want to do it, and say, okay, we don't need to kind of make this up, or panic in this way of like,
Hmm.
how we need something to top. You know what I mean? It's very thought out. You know, Damien has a big arch of what he's always been trying to do, and he's been sticking with it. Now, of course, along the way, you hear from fans, you hear feedback. You'd be silly to just ignore that too. You know,
Hmm.
you take that in, and we listen to our fans, and then we try to say, okay, next time show a little more of this, maybe a little less of this, because this is what, you know, they want. This is what's resonating with them. So you have to have that balance of knowing when to listen and when not to listen and stay disciplined,
Mm.
you know, and that's
Right.
what makes a successful film, franchise, director, writer, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, man. Well said. Well said. You know, and Val, this is a good point too. And I'm glad she said this. She was saying, I have to admit, I wasn't a big art fan until I saw two. Excited to see three. Bring on the gore. And that's a big thing too, because the Terrifier films, I mean, they really woo. I mean, like I said, in the theater, we saw two people literally like lose their lunch. And so I know for a lot of fans, that's a big, you know, you're going to an extreme. But like you said, what you guys are trying to do, bring in the creativity, the mindset of a fan into the films, I just think for all of us as horror fans, this is a special time because we're literally seeing the birth of new stuff, you know, a new icon, possibly some new franchises. That's great.
It is. It's so exciting. That's why I plug some of those other films here that I'm not a part of, because as a fan, I think it's an exciting time. The slashers are back, which is and look, and I like the Conjurings and the Haunting of Hill House. I like that stuff
Hmm.
too. As I like kind of diving into all of that stuff. But it's really exciting for those 80s, 70s, early 90s fans of the genre to see this coming back. I'm honored to be a part of it. And what's cool too is like talking Terrifier and Stream, being a part of both franchises, we were also very conscious of, even though we have the same exact team, like from the top to the bottom, like the PAs are the same, the producers are the same, the camera teams, you know what I mean? It's all the same people, just in different roles. We
Hmm.
were very conscious not to just regurgitate the same thing in a different way. Stream
Hmm.
is very different from Terrifier. You know what I mean? Even though we deliver on gore and stuff, Art the Clown kills a certain way where it's this brutality and it's this grossness to it.
Hmm.
Stream has the brutality, has the creative kills, but it's not, maybe the grossness to it. Or so I'm just trying to give an example of, we tried to be different and separated
Right.
because it's a different story. These are different killers to kind of show, hey, we can do other things. We can show you other stuff. We can create more. We have a lot more to give to this genre. We have a lot more
Hmm.
to give to this, to our fans. And that's what I'm really excited about, is to show that although it is similar, it's different as well. Because again, it's this more modern style, this more techie style of filmmaking than what Terrifier was. And that's what I'm excited to see if our fan base can get behind that.
Yeah, man. I mean, so obviously it's going to be a busy couple months, man, because we've got Stream coming up shortly, and then of course Terrifier 3. I mean, I know
And
this is.
no, you might not. We're a part of the Screamboat Willie horror movie that's coming
Oh,
out.
that's right.
So we have that coming into theaters in January of 2025.
Hmm.
And this one is totally different. I mean, it's gory. You got us involved. It's going to be gory and going to have cool kills, but it's got a lot more comedy to it. It's a
Mm.
satire in a way, because look at the content we're dealing with. Look at the material we're dealing with. It's
Mhm.
Steamboat Willie, Disney, Mickey Mouse. So I'm excited for that mashup too. And we got a great cast that's a part of that. We have what production value, in the locations we did, and so we got three different but similar kind of films coming out that
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what it does also for the genre. Because
Yes.
what Terrifier 2 did, the most proud thing I am a part of that franchise, and Damien will say the same thing. It opened up doors for independent filmmakers. It opened up doors for indie films to get that exposure that they may not have had before. I'll tell you this, even though
Mhm.
we're still a part of it, Stream would not be in theaters had it not been for Terrifier 2 opening the doors. Of In a
Mm.
Violent Nature might not have had that. The Skinamarink might not have had that.
Mhm.
All of the Winnie the Pooh, the Blood and Honey, all of these films were opened up. The Mean One were opened up
Mhm.
because of what happened with Terrifier. And that's something that I'm most proud of, because these indie films, it's tough. It's so much saturation. It's so much out there that it's hard to kind of get pushed through. And nobody really ever paid attention to other than the real diehard horror fans. But the studios, the theaters, nobody was giving us a shot. And,
Mm.
and now we're kind of to the forefront, and they're scratching their heads saying, how the hell did they do this? And it's just doing original, new, fresh things. It's that simple. It's
Right.
real simple. Go for it.
Yep. And giving the fans what they want.
Exactly.
Like you said, especially with people like Damien, these practical effects that when you see it, you're sitting there saying, how the hell did they do that? And not just relying on CGI. It's almost like a throwback to the old days. Like, obviously, in the back of me, one of my favorite films is John Carpenter's The Thing. When I think of Rob Bottin and Stan Winston and Rick Baker and all those wizards.
All these guys. Yeah,
Yes. Yes. I mean, and that's so cool that you guys, I think Val said it perfectly in the chat. You guys are giving us something new and fresh while still respecting and have a bridge to the old school. I mean, and that's tough to do, but it's so awesome that you guys, that's where you're going with this. So man, I'm just so excited. I can't wait to see this film. And just to say this as we get ready to sign off, because I know I know I've kept you on here for a while. And I really appreciate you doing this, by the way, because I know you're busy.
you're very welcome.
Yeah. But just to say this, when the film comes out, I'll be talking about it. I know a lot of my friends, content creators will be talking about it. And I'm telling you, man, I'll definitely be reaching out, and if we get a chance to talk again afterwards, because then we can like go
Oh yeah, we
full.
will. We will. Then we can dive in. We can go
Yes.
into a lot of it. And look, I appreciate always make time for people who are interested in what we're doing for our fans, for our supporters. We wouldn't be here without you guys, and it's an honor, it's a blessing, it's humbling to be here. So lucky to be doing what I'm doing, and
Mm.
it really means a lot. And like you said, if you guys can check out the trailer who haven't seen it, if you're interested, try to get your pre-sale tickets. You could see how to do that through the social medias, because again, that can help us extend and expand for stream. We're running the contest too, so you could win something. And there's a Facebook page that our fan base actually put together called at Join the Stream official group. And there's people in there. It's a couple thousand that are just talking about excitement about the movie, and they're sharing cosplay, and they're so it's really a great movement, and it's great to see the excitement for it, and it's great to hear the feedback. So just reach out. We're very accessible, and love hearing your thoughts about it. And we're going to keep delivering the goods.
Hell yeah, man. Awesome stuff. And these guys, they're pumped up too. They're talking about the cast. They're like, "Oh my god, I'm dead. What a great cast." Hell yeah, man. I mean, legends, absolute legends. Nathaniel, thank you so much. Another one of my great friends, also another great content creator. Neon Black Reviews, my man Neil saying, I have to admit, I am excited for Terrifier 3. That is a huge compliment because Neil, I mean, like his horror knowledge is deep. I'm talking about old school, foreign, and everything in between. So that's awesome to hear. Awesome to hear. And for all you guys coming here tonight to hang out, I really appreciate it. Nathaniel said Michael seems like an awesome dude. He is. He is.
Thank
He
you.
really is.
I love your picture there. Was it the Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Krueger house? That's cool.
Yes, hell yeah, man. Well, look, man, I appreciate you being here. I'm definitely gonna be one of the first people to be talking about this when I see it. I can't wait. Like I said, I'm just so excited about possibilities for the future of horror. This is why horror is the best. And I thank you and everyone else involved so much for approaching it the way you're approaching it and just showing love to the fans because, like you said, you guys are fans as well. And I can't wait to talk again, man. I really can't. Seriously. Thank you
Um,
so much for doing this.
Thank you. It's been an honor and a pleasure, and I'm excited for you to see it, and I'm excited to talk to you afterwards.
Heck yeah, man. All right, brother. Well, look, I'll be talking to you soon. For you guys in the chat, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. Leave any comments or questions in the chat. Make sure you guys follow Michael on Instagram. We had the links all in the live chat several times. We got it in the description. I'm going to be talking about it on my Instagram and social media as well. So definitely let's support this, guys. We all talk about it. We want new stuff and we want it to be done the right way. This is an example of how we can get that done. So definitely let's do this, guys. So we will catch you guys later. As always, if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you are the Night Watch. Peace out. Catch you guys later.